Okay guys, we're gonna go over how to set up an A-line. I know you've had the information prior to this, but we're actually gonna go over what you actually need. We need to get saline, or whatever your facility is saying that you need to use. Here at Queens, we actually use saline. We need to get the transducer kit. It's an all-in-one. A pressure bag, 2 microclaves, and your green caps to protect your Lure locks. So the first thing we're going to do is open up your saline, and then your transducer setup. And then we're going to open everything up. Okay, you're gonna get to the spike, and the first thing you're going to do is open up your saline. We're gonna do a procedure called burping the bag, because you don't want to have any air in your line, because whenever you end up priming your A-line tubing, you can end up with air bubbles, which will end up giving you a dampened result. All right, so once you spike it, you can unspike and express all the air, where there's nothing but fluid left in the bag. We're gonna try and get all the bubbles out, and then re-spike. Okay, so with that, you want to remain holding it up, and when you get to the end over here, you're going to want to flip your stopcocks, and the first stopcock you come to will be right past the transducer. You're going to flip it off to the patient, which is away from the bag, and then you're going to pull this little blue tab right here. That allows all the air to be expressed and fluid to flow through the line. So we will start filling it up. Be careful not to get air bubbles all in your system, and continue to express it until fluid flows out there. And then once you're finished, you can actually release the blue tab. And then you're going to turn the stopcock back to be open, and then you're going to move down to the next available stopcock closer to the patient. Once again, turn it off to the patient. So when you do that, you're going to come back to the blue tab, and you're going to pull it again and continue priming your line until fluid comes out at that stopcock. And you can stop. And one more time, we're going to flip the stopcock to the open position and then prime all the way to the patient side. Once you get to this point, you're going to visually inspect your entire length of your tubing. Make sure that there are no air bubbles, and that way you know your entire system is completely primed. When you get to that point, you will then be ready to put your bag inside of a pressure bag. There's nothing special about this. You do it the same way you do with any other bag. And then you will hang it on your pole. And then you're going to inflate to the pressure of 300, which on these bags will show up as a green mark as this becomes depressed. And all this can be being done while the provider's prepping to insert the A-line. All right, once you see the green mark, you know you're at 300, and you can turn this off up to the bag. That prevents any air from escaping. All right, and typically we will have this transducer holder that will be available at the bedside or on a pole. If not, you just have to make sure you can actually tape it in emergencies to the apex as well. So the transducer will slip right in. The cable will go down. The one going to the patient needs to be pointing up. So it slides right in. It clicks. So what we're going to be doing while the provider is doing their portion is we are going to be finding the cable that connects to this transducer. It slides right in. And in order to zero this out, that's very important. We want to make sure we turn this transducer off to the patient. Remember, this is going over to the patient. We're going to turn it up. We're going to pull this tab one time and release. That allows all the pressure to come through. And then on the monitor itself, this is for the GE B650. The 850s are set up the same way, and so are the transport monitors of the 450s. You see right here, it will say P1 ART. If you click on it, there's an option to zero, and you can actually zero while it's turned off. That's very important. You just hit zero, it'll go to zeroing, and once it goes to zeroed, that's in past tense, then you know it's ready to be used on your patient. You could then open it up all the way. The whole entire system's open up to the patient, and if it's hooked up to an actual patient, you'll begin seeing a waveform. Once that baseline waveform appears, if you click on your pressure again, you can hit optimize scale, and that will make sure the scale is optimized to your patient's actual pressure at that time. That's good.